What is up, Nuggets? It's your boy, Killer Pizza, here with a brand new video for you rascals and rapscallions out there. It is officially December, the Christmas season. Hopefully everybody is having a good December so far, not stressing out too much around the holidays. I know how it can be, because every year I'm typically the stereotypical shop at the very last minute kind of guy, but I'm very happy to say I got all of my Christmas shopping done yesterday. So I'm done besides the gift cards I got to grab and all that fun stuff. Plus, we have yet to get any snow up here in Michigan so far, and it is a high of 50 today. So I consider it a good December so far. But anyways, into the video I wanted to make. I did a volume 1 of this before, movies you should watch on Tubi, which I thought would be fun to do a little follow-up on this. It pretty much stems from whenever I do a lot of reviews, I've had people comment like, where is this streaming? And when I do these reviews, it's always a movie I own, because as you can see, I'm a big physical media guy. Though I do like streaming, I stream some stuff, but I just thought, let me give you guys some recommendations on a streaming app that is free. And, obviously I'm not sponsored by Tubi, like I said last time. It's a Swisher Sweet sponsorship I'm after. But I think Tubi has the best horror movies around. I hear people all the time say, like in these horror groups I follow on Facebook and whatnot, what good horror movies are on Netflix? None. There's not really shit on there. I mean, you could find some good stuff, but I will say Tubi is the hidden gem when it comes to streaming horror movies, and you can find so many good things on here. So I decided to do a volume 2, and these are 5 movies I recommend that you guys check out for free. So anyways, let's start this off. So my number 1 pick last time was my favorite movie of all time, not just my favorite horror movie, my very favorite, Return of the Living Dead. So I thought it'd be fun to add my number 1 pick on here to be Return of the Living Dead Part 2. If you still haven't watched Part 1, you can do a little double header. I highly suggest it. Now, I absolutely love this movie. Most people do. Most people are a fan. If they're a fan of 1, they like 2. But I have heard some criticisms that it's just a little too comedy for them. But I love it because there's tons of comedy in the first one. This one kind of switches where the main character is this little kid named Jesse. Maybe that's why I liked it so much when I first seen it as a kid. I could kind of relate. But he's living in like this new house development, the suburbs. They're still like building all the houses, so they got all the construction workers out there, which is a cool little touch. You don't really ever see that in movies. And pretty much he meets up with the 2 bullies in the neighborhood, and they're bullying him to put him in the little like morgue house in the cemetery as their clubhouse as a prank, and they end up finding this barrel of the trioxin that was dumped earlier by like this army guy. It fell off the back of his truck while he was smoking a doobie and not paying attention. They find this barrel. They open it up, and the second Tar Man comes out. Everyone hates the look of this Tar Man. I don't think it's really that bad. But then they come after all our main characters. We got the electrician who has a crush on Jesse's older sister. You got Jesse, the bullies, and then Doc McGee, who is one of the funnest characters. He's one of the neighbors. And then James Karen and Tom Matthews return in different roles, but they are 2 of the best in the original, and James Karen is absolutely hilarious in this movie. Rest in peace. So this is my number 1 pick for you guys to check out. Be sure to watch this one. I absolutely love it. All right. So now on to number 2. I had to throw kind of a darker film on here. I tried to make this list a little well-rounded. So here is one that you guys might want to check out if you're into this style of movie. That is the Kipsy tapes. This is a really, really messed up movie. This goes up there with exploitation films in a way of like, this isn't a movie I would revisit a lot of times because it is really disturbing and has a lot of really messed up things that happen in this. But if you're a hardcore horror fan like me, sometimes you got to kind of push it to the limit just to see how far it can go. I always have the silver lining of knowing like the movie's not real at the end of the day. So even the most fucked up stuff you can see in a film, it might kind of bother you when you're watching it there, but for the sake of art and to see like how far they could push in the horror genre, it's worth a watch. And what I think a lot of you guys might really like about this film is it follows a serial killer who has this fetish of filming all of his murders, and he films them on this old VHS camera. So once the cops come and find, like, go into his house, get a search warrant or whatever, they find all these tapes, hundreds of thousands of tapes that have all his murders on there. So this movie is kind of like a found footage film where it's spliced halfway between the footage of all these murders, but they also mix in like all these news reports and everything, so it kind of comes off as like a true crime movie. I know a lot of people out there might be into true crime. I know I like true crime documentaries, so they really make this look real in a lot of ways, and I like how they blend in the true crime element with the found footage and make it seem like a real thing. And like I said, if you're weak at stomach or don't like really terrible, heinous things happening in a super realistic way, this one might not be for you. But I think if you are a true horror fan, this is worth checking out at least once. All right, now we will have number 3. Let's bring it back a little more lighthearted. We have Chopping Mall. This is such a fun movie. It's about a couple teens who work at, like, I think they work at the mattress store inside this shopping mall. And there's the 3 guys, they have their 3 dates, and they sneak into the mall late at night because they got the keys or whatever, they work there. And they go in the mattress store, and the plan is for all of them to get laid, hook up with all these chicks. But the mall has actually gotten rid of all their security guards, and they have made these robots that are going to patrol, to save money, the killbots. And what happens is lightning strikes the tower, kind of like Frankenstein, and like the electricity shocks these robots, making them into the killbots. And these robots go around killing everybody in the mall. We get some more characters that join in to, bump up the kill count. But this is just a very fun kind of slapstick movie. We got some pretty fun kills, surprisingly, in here. It's pretty good. We got Kelly Moraney from Night of the Comet, one of my favorites. I absolutely adore her, so I love her. In this movie, it's just a lot of fun, a fun watch. And it's only 76 minutes. I know most movies on average are about 90 minutes. And I know whenever I see something under 90 minutes, I think, oh, this is an easy watch. Anything over 90, even 5 minutes, I go, oh, this is a bit long. But this is a very fun movie. I guarantee you'll love this one. In fact, I think at the time of recording this, I'm probably going to watch that tonight, now that I'm kind of speaking about it. I was thinking that earlier. But yeah, a lot of fun. Okay, and number 4, we have Pieces. This is a pretty interesting film. I know it was marketed like it's more hardcore than the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's about a mystery killer who goes around with a chainsaw, cutting people up. He takes their body parts, puts them together like a jigsaw puzzle. Fun little mystery in here. Just a pretty good slasher. I would say I would recommend watching this one. I would say it's definitely not better than the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That is one of the greatest horror movies ever made. But I think this one is worth watching if you're a fan of that. Because as you know, if you've seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they get away with not really showing anything violent, which is different than what you would think your first time watching it, or what people that have never seen it is, which is something that's so beautiful about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They didn't have to go that route to make it that vicious, to make it one of the greatest horror movies of all time. But Pieces, what they do different, it's just a run-of-the-mill average slasher, but they actually show people getting cut up with the chainsaw at certain points in this movie. I don't want to give too much away, but I will say at one point somebody may or may not get completely dismembered with a chainsaw, and it's something worth watching, especially if you're a fan of practical effects like I am. This movie rules. It's been a while since I've seen it myself, but I absolutely love it. One of the most funny little surprising things happen at the end. If you watch this movie, comment what you think I'm talking about. First time I seen this movie, when this moment at the very, very, very end happened, I laughed my ass off so hard because I'm going to hell. It's just very, very funny to me. But yeah, this one is a pretty good one. Not the greatest, not the worst, but I think this is one on my list that a lot of you may never have seen, and I think you should definitely check it out. And number 5, I said it was the Christmas season, so I figured I would end it with a Christmas horror movie. We are talking about Christmas Evil. This movie absolutely rules. If you've ever seen Henry, the Portrait of a Serial Killer, it kind of follows that direction in a way. It's kind of less of a horror movie, almost more of like a psychological thriller going into the mind of a madman. It follows this guy who's just obsessed with Christmas. He loves it. He works in this toy store. And just the holiday seasons get to him at his job, just bullshit happening there, bullshit happening outside of work, his jealousy of what he wants for Christmas, just a lot of things going into it. And they do a really good job of kind of dissecting it, scene by scene, of just watching his slow descent into madness until he finally loses it. He dresses up like Santa Claus and goes on a killing spree. And there's some pretty wild stuff that happens in this movie. I would say this is one of the most underrated Christmas horror movies I've ever seen, because I don't ever hear anybody talking about this. And this one also has a pretty wild ending too. If you guys watch this movie, which you should, I'd love to hear in the comment section what you think the ending of this movie actually means. I believe I had a conversation with John Campbell about this, what the ending of the movie actually meant. But like I said, kind of a fun, different little twist on like a Christmas horror movie where, like I said, it goes more into like the descent into madness of a guy who loses his mind, which is always kind of a fun way to take a horror movie, because this one comes off like it's just going to be a slasher. But yeah, a lot of fun. But anyways, those are my 5 picks. I don't want to rant and ramble on too long. Hopefully you guys check some of these out. Let me know in the comments which ones you watch. Let me know if you have any suggestions of Christmas horror movies you think I should check out or you want me to review. I think I'm going to do a review of Black Christmas 4K. I just got that. I've seen it a million times, but I'm anxious to watch it again. And I actually placed an order through Scream Team Releasing, where they did Christmas Cadavers is a movie they had about like a Christmas themed zombie movie that takes place in like the hospital with like all the cadavers in there. It looks really cool, so I might do a review to that because I actually just got the shipping notice on that. That shit's going to show up before my Vinegar Syndrome and Severn packages. Who knows when my Vinegar Syndrome stuff will get here, but I'm going to do unboxings of those, obviously, when they get here. But anyways, enough rambling on. Hopefully everybody's having a good one. Blood Guts Gore. I'll check you guys next time.